Hey, how you guys doing? It's me, Pitmaster JW, the competition barbecue team, JW Barbecue and Wings. And today, I'm not going to be working on the grill. Today, I am going to be cooking. I am going to show you how to make a wonton soup. So you guys just hang on. Let me get everything hooked up here and we'll get started. First of all, let me adjust my camera. You're looking over into my neighbor's backyard, so don't worry about that. Okay. Now, let me come up here and get you guys started. Like I say, I'm Pitmaster JW of the competition barbecue team, JW Barbecue and the Wings. And I am going to be working on making a wonton soup today. One of the main ingredients that you need, you're going to need a pot. That's for sure, medium or large. And you're going to need, I'm working outside, so I got a portable stove that I'm going to be using. And there's my pot. Let me set that back out of the way. Now I'm going to give you some of the key ingredients that you're going to need. First of all, we're making a wonton soup, so you're going to need some wontons. You can either get the pork or the chicken and vegetable dumplings, wontons, and use those. The other main thing you're going to need some bok choy. Okay, this is already cut up, broken apart, rinsed, and ready to go. Okay, so you just go to any local grocery store. Most of them carry bok choy. You can either use just water and add some salt, increase your sodium content by using more soy sauce than I'm going to use in this recipe, and just get you some chicken stock. A couple of cans of a couple of bottles, depending on how much you're making. You can use that. 2 quarts would be just good. The other thing you're going to need is the soy sauce. You're going to need some onion powder, some ginger powder, some garlic powder, some sesame seed oil, and I have here some scallions that are going to be cut up and used at the end for garnish. So I got my scallions right here. I'm going to set those out of the way. A spoon and a knife, okay, will come in handy also. So let me get started on this. Move all this out of the way. The first thing I want to do is get up in here and show you how to work on the bok choy, okay? So, my bok choy has already been pulled off the core. Just like you would do a cabbage, you just pull your leaves off, wash them, rinse them off. Okay, you definitely want to rinse them off. The next thing, come up here and break away the leaves from the bok choy. Some of these are already dead in advance. I got a few left to show you how to go about doing that. Let me get the ones already broke off out of the way. And just take it. This is the bottom of the bok choy that comes off the root. And you just snap it just like that. All you want is the white part to start this recipe off. So I'm going to go ahead on and break off the few that I got left to show you how easy that is to do. And you just take all the green leaves and set them to the side for a moment, because you're going to use those as well. Okay, now that I got those set aside, let me get my knife. I'm going to come in here, and you want to cut these generally about 1/4 inch to 1 inch thick. And you just go up in there, slice those, just like I'm doing right now. Cut that little root part off there. Come back in, slice them up, just like I'm doing. Like I said, about 1/4 inch to 1 inch, depending on how thick you want them. I generally like mine about 1/4 inch. Inch is just a little too thick for me as far as my soup. But if you want to cut them thicker or smaller, that's up to you. And just be careful not to cut your finger off. Roll that finger up if you have to. So we definitely don't want to do that. And you go ahead and cut that off too, that little root part. Okay. And cut the rest of this up, and then I'm going to get my water fired up so I can work on the other things that I need to do here. Alright guys, now that I got that done, let me just stop that for a moment and I'll be right back. I forgot one thing. Alright, I'm back. I had to go get a lighter because sometimes this portable stove doesn't automatically engage in the ignition here when you push down on it. And so just a little breeze I hear today. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I'm just going to go ahead and move the white part of my wontons out of the way and put it in a bowl. And then I'm going to get my greens cut up, get the water fired up in the pot, and my chicken stock, and get it cut up in the pot. Like I say, you can use water if you like to. Let me go ahead and cut some of my greens up and just cut these up or tear them up. You can tear them up if you want to in bite-sized pieces. Okay, just like I'm doing right now, just cut them up, bite-sized pieces. And then just set them to the side. I want to get my stock going here in a moment and let that come to a boil. And then I am going to add the white part of the Bok Choy and let that cook for about 20 minutes or so, and then I'm going to throw in the greens and let them cook for about 10-12 minutes, and I'll move right along and show you all the other things I'm going to do here in a moment. But let me just get some of the greens cut up here. I'm not going to need them all because this is quite a bit here. And like I say, you just cut them up, break them up into bite-sized pieces, and just set them to the side and let the greens cook for about 20 minutes before you add those. Give an early jump for the greens, for the white, because it takes a little longer for the white to get soft instead of the greens. I'm just going to put my greens to the side here. Okay, I'll do about 2 more of these. Yeah, I'm outside, as you can tell, because you hear traffic passing by. Ain't no big thing there. Like I said, I'm Pitmaster JW Competition Barbecue Team, and we do things outside. Rain, sleet, snow, or hell. Alright, that's how we roll. Okay, now, I'm going to move this out of the way and bring this over here. I don't have to cut up my scallions yet because they're going to be the last thing that I use. Move my cutting board out of the way and get my stove going here. My little stove. I'm going to turn this bad boy on. Always check to see how much fluid you got. I think that's enough to get me started. But I tell you what, I got a whole new can right here. And I'm just going to stick a new can in here, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me for a second. Okay, I don't know if you guys ever used one of these before, but they do come in handy. Now, I'm going to turn this bad boy on and engage it. And it was supposed to work. Click. Let me go back. See what's wrong here. Alright. And there it go. All fired up. So, I'm going to put my pot up here. And get my pot going. You can probably see the flames. I hope you can see the flames there. Let me step around and look at my camera real quick. And yes, you should be able to see the flames going. And there you go. Alright, that'll work there. So now, I'm going to go ahead on and put my chicken broth. Chicken stock doesn't make any difference. It's the same to me. You ask me, it was made from some of the chicken. Okay, so chicken broth, chicken stock, both of them will work. So I'm going to go ahead on and put a bottle of this in here. This is a 32-ounce bottle of chicken broth. Okay, and 1 cup of water is all I have in there. Now I'm going to set back and let this come to a boil, and then I'm going to put the white part of my Bok Choy in there. So I'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, once the water get to boiling. So now that my water is beginning to boil, let me go ahead on and add a few ingredients to the water before I add the white part of my Bok Choy to it. So I'm going to start out, first of all, you're going to need the ginger, like I said. 2 tablespoons of ginger powder. That's 2 tablespoons of ginger powder. You can add more, you can add less. Okay, that's 1. Okay, 2 tablespoons of ginger powder. The next item that I want to use here is going to be my soy sauce. I need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. If you're going to add salt to it, then use less. Uh-oh, sorry about that, I grabbed the wrong bottle. This is my sesame seed oil, and I am going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of sesame seed oil, and I dumped out a tablespoon by mistake. So let me see, can I pour that back in the bottle, and I'll be back at you. Sesame seed oil. Beep, beep. Okay, now, my soy sauce, I need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Okay, that's my soy sauce. Set that to the side. Come up here, and now I would do the sesame seed oil. And I need a 1/4 teaspoon of sesame seed oil. You don't need a lot of sesame seed oil. It's a very strong oil. So just a 1/4 of it. Alright, dump that in there. And then I need to add 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. So I got my garlic powder right here. I need 2 teaspoons of that. Okay, there's my garlic powder. Got that out of the way. Got that out of the way. And 2 tablespoons of onion powder. Definitely got to get that onion flavor. So instead of teaspoon, I'm going tablespoon. Because I like onions. Especially sweet onions. 2 tablespoons of onion powder. And I have a teaspoon, so I need beep beep. 1 more, and I'll adjust as I go if necessary. Okay. And that's all you need for right now. My water is beginning to boil, so I'm going to go ahead on and stir this up in here. As you can see, you see the steam coming up in the camera. Ooh, I hope it's not fogging it up. Okay. Now, I am going to go ahead on and stick my whites into the water. Just like that. And I'm going to let these cook for about 20 minutes. Okay. And I'll be back in about 15 minutes and go from there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and it's been 16 minutes now since I put this pot on, and as you can see, it's boiling pretty good, and the white part of the bok choy is getting to be tender like I want it. Okay, and it takes about that long, about, I will say, 15 to 18. You can let it run out to 20 if you want to. You don't want to completely falling apart in the water, because you still got to add the green part to it. So I'm going to go ahead on and put that in there now and let that cook for about 12 minutes. I got my timer right here. Let me hit my timer and let that cook for about 12 minutes to soften up the green part of the bok choy. And got about 3 handfuls of that, chopped up, like I said, bite size. So I get that in there. And once again, I am Pitmaster JW, the competition barbecue team, JW Barbecue in the Wing. And today I'm not grilling. Today I'm outside cooking, and I am making a wonton soup. Yes, I am, a wonton soup, which consists of basically bok choy and no other than the wontons, of course. So I'm going to let this go ahead on and cook for about 10 minutes, and I'll come back. I give it about 12, but I'll come back and get back up on this very soon. So I'm going to stir this up a few times here, so I can go ahead on and get that started. And the wontons itself takes about maybe 6 to 8 minutes, and bam, you're finished with this wonton soup. And I've already cut up my scallions to use as a garnish, which you don't have to use as a garnish if you don't want to. But I cut some up, and I'll be back in a few minutes here. Alright guys, I am back. It has been exactly 11 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my timer off and set that for 6 minutes. Yeah, I'm getting ready to add the wontons to it now. You don't want them to overcook, so somewhere between 6 and 8 minutes, stirring a few times. Okay, and you should be ready. Your wonton soup will be finished, because you don't want your wontons to fall apart. And so these are the wontons that I am using. You can use any brand that you want to, but this is the brand that I'm using. I'm using the chicken and vegetable ones. So I'm going to go ahead on and add these to my mixture here. And let me start my timer. Bam. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to set my timer for 6 minutes. And go ahead and drop my wonton. You can just drop the whole bag. Just do the whole bag. Yeah, there's no need to save any. You know, unless you're going to take them and fry them, you can do that, but that's a different video. And maybe I'll get to that one sooner or later. Now, whoa. Like I said, I'm outside, and that's a speed demon passing by. I live on a corner of my neighborhood, right as you turn into my neighborhood, and sometimes we get stuff like that. So let me go ahead and stir that up, and you can take a look right now inside. I'm going to bring the camera over so you can look down inside, and just let this go for about 6 minutes. And then when it cools down just a little bit, I'm going to do a taste test, and I'm going to use the scallions as my garnish, of course. Sorry about that, putting my hand in the way here in the camera and bring you a little closer into it. There you go. Now, while I'm letting this go ahead on and take care of these wontons in here, let me stir this up real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go back and once again introduce myself. I'm Pitmaster JW of the competition barbecue team, JW Barbecue in the Wing. And today I'm not grilling, today I'm cooking. And what I am cooking is a wonton soup. So, give you the key players of this wonton soup is to start out with some wontons, some bok choy. The other thing that I have in this is some chicken broth, some ginger, soy sauce, garlic powder, sesame seed oil, and onion powder. Okay, I'll leave the description down below so you guys want to get the recipe and try it out for yourself. If you don't want to take all that time going through the video, you can just follow the recipe. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and stir this up so I can get my wonton soup all together here and get it started and get me a nice old taste. Okay. And as always, you guys know what's coming next. If you like this video, please hit that like button and also subscribe to my website, to my YouTube channel, so I can afford to do a few more things for you in the future here. And you know how it goes. You know the routine. So, as this is cooking along, I want to go over here and move a few things around here, put things out of the way. I am out back and I don't want to create flies, and that's for sure. So I've been lucky so far while I've been doing this video. And I'm 4 minutes out from being finished here. And they are looking and smelling good. This smells so good. Can't wait to get into this. But anyway, like I say, I'm Pitmaster JW. And today I'm not grilling. Today I'm cooking. And what am I cooking? You're right. A wonton soup. And if you never had it before, you definitely want to try this out, because I can guarantee you that you are going to love it. You can use fresh ginger. I forgot to mention that. If you like to, I use ginger powder. It's not that big of a difference. One is fresh and one is powder. Both of them is ginger. So you can use whatever brand of soy sauce that you might like to use. Okay, sesame seed oil. I think that's only one way to go. So just use a little bit of it because it is very strong. So you don't want to overpower your wonton soup, and all that you taste is the sesame seed oil, because it is a very, very, very powerful oil. Okay. Now, this should have enough sodium in it as it is because of the soy sauce that I use. But if you need to, then you can use a dash or two, you know, of salt to adjust it to your taste. And I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. And I'm just waiting. A few more minutes. My wontons are getting very soft. Okay, as you can look in there. Take a good look once again, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can't smell it, but it smells good. Okay? Take my word, and you are going to say the same thing when you decide to make one. And I certainly hope you do. Just stir it up. 2 minutes left. Like I said, don't take the wontons no time. You don't want to keep them in there too long boiling. You can turn the heat down if you like to and let it simmer a few more additional minutes. But I think 6 to 7 minutes is a pretty good time throwing them into this pot, because if you keep on boiling, they are definitely going to fall apart. They'll still be wontons, but they just won't have that shape and form like they did when you first put them in there, because the water will rip them apart. So I'm just going to turn my heat down because I'm almost finished here. And it's getting thick, and that's going to happen as the wontons finish cooking in here. And like I say, I'm using the chicken and vegetable ones. They do make pork if you want to use the pork ones. It all depends on your preference at the time, which one you prefer to use. I decided to use chicken because I like the chicken ones just a little bit better than the pork. I love pork, but when it comes to wontons, if I had to make a choice, it's going to be the chicken one. Okay, let me move some of this out of the way. Okay, I got my bowl here, so I'm going to suit up a bowl for you, garnish it with my scallions that are already cut up that I mentioned earlier. And it's almost that time, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Stir it up, stir it up. How y'all doing out there? Leave a comment. I get around to answer it as soon as I can. No one leaves a comment that I doesn't answer. I might not answer it right back at that moment, but I will get to it sooner or later. Beep, beep. Counting it down, ladies and gentlemen. 15 seconds and counting. Here's my bowl. Here's my spoon. And let me grab my scallions and give you just a presentation of what it looked like. It's too hot to eat right now. Okay, so I'll come back to that in a moment. And there's the timer. Alright. So I'm going to turn the heat off. And there's the heat, just turn it off. Okay, let me reach in here, stir this around a little bit, and then I'm going to set it out of the way. And I'm just splashing stuff all over the place. Okay. Up, that's my scallion, getting ready to mess that up. Here I go. Okay. And get some of that juice and put up in here. I should have brought a spoon out that didn't have holes in it, but I will make that work because I need some of that juice out of this wonton soup. So I'm going to use my measuring spoon. It's clean. All right, now let me set this out of the way here. This thing is hot. Yes, it is. Put the top over that. And just lift this up, set this out of the way, bring my soup over here. Okay, I hope you guys can see that. I'm going to tip this camera down real quick. And there it is. Bring it up a little closer to you there. And get my scallions. Dazzle this bad boy up with a few scallions. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. JW just hooked up a wonton soup. Okay, this thing is hot. I'm going to tell you right now. There's no way I want to put this in my mouth right now, as hot as this thing is. But I can tell you right now from experience, you're going to like it. Let me see, can I taste a little bit of it? Woo, that is so good. That is good. Yes, it is. I like that. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I just got through making a wonton soup. And I want to leave the recipe down in the description box so you guys can go in there and check it out for yourself. And don't forget to hit that like button. And I'll be with you guys in the next video. And also that subscribe button. Until the next time, JW is out of here. Peace.